The next thing I would like to talk about is variable types. So variables is a symbolic name associated with a value, and the value may be changed. This is something very similar to variable in math. The first thing to do with variables is assigning. Actually, I already introduced some example about variables assigning. So let's say you need to create a new variable. Let's say like a number of apples. So then you follow with an assignment operator. Here it is an equal sign, and then finally followed by an expression or single values. So let's say 2. So we can access to the value of the variable by typing the name of it here, and you can even do it with some kind of math, like here you buy more 3 apples, so you can see 5. And when you assign it, you also can write more complicated expression here, something like that, and then you can access to the value later. The similar thing you can do with how to create a float number. Let's say like the distance equal to 64.72. So you will see this is a float number. It's not an integer number like the apples. And the string, of course, you can assign the string to a variable. So let's say John, for example, and you can call it. But please remember that the string should be inside a quotation. And Python also provides a syntax for multiple assignments. So let's say we can have the syntax to assign multiple variables with the same value at the same time. So for example, like we have A equal to B equal to C and we assign it to 7, for example, and then you can call A, B, and C. So all the 3 variables will have the same value 7. So this is a very useful syntax. Another useful syntax for assignment is to use multiple variables and multiple values at the same time. So for example, like we have name, and we put the comma, age, and the gender. At the same time, we assign to name is John, and age is 20, and gender is male. So we have assigned all 3 variables at the same time, so you can recall the name, the age, and the gender. Okay, and you see that is very interesting. This I really strongly encourage you to use this syntax for shorten your code. You don't need to write the 3-line code for assigning each variables. You can have better way to write shorter. The next thing is a variable type. So Python provides basic type, number, string, boolean, and also built-in collection types like list, set, tuple, and dictionary. Before moving on some example, I would like to introduce to you the type function. So the type function right now you can consider is a magical function which takes an object, and the type function will tell you the type of the object. So for example, like you type and you put an object name and you say that is a string, and if you put an h here, you will see that it int, right? And then if you put it take the distance, it will be float, right? So the type function is a very useful function for you to check the type, the object, when you are not sure and you like to debug your program or something like that. And here I want to introduce, so the number, the string, and the boolean is very basic type variables in Python. So you can see here this number, maybe it's integer or float, and string as well. And boolean is something, it's kind of special variable. It's like the it say the truth value of the variable, something like you can assign to true, and the truth is true, and you can also say is it false. So this is special value type, only take two value, true or false. And here I would like to tell that the Python also provides built-in collection type, list, set, tuple, and dictionary, which is very useful when you organize the many variables in a collection. So here I can give you an example of a list. So like you have the numbers, a list of number, you put a square bracket like this, and inside the square bracket you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, for example. So you have 5 items here, and you can set to the value of the numbers here. You can see it is a set of number. It is no, it's not. It's a list of number, and you can check with the type function that the numbers type is list, right? And you can do many things with the list, like say you can look over the list for n in numbers, and you print out the number, like number is n, and then execute it. So you can do the thing over the list. So this so at this time, don't worry much about the syntax of this command. So we will learn about it later in the chapter 2 and 3. Sometimes you need to convert the variable to a specific type you want. Python also provides many built-in functions to do this. For example, you can convert number to int to float. So let's look at the textbook. So here I suggest you should take a look at the textbooks for more detail. Now there's a lot of useful functions to convert different number into int, into float, into complex, or something like that. And also like a lot of functions to convert a collection to a tuple, to a list or set, or something like that. So please take a look at the textbooks, and I will try to give you an example, very simple example here. Let's say like you have 10 divided by 2, so you will see that it's 5.0. So it will be like float, it's not an int. So if you want to convert it to int, you try the int function, and then you take it 10 divided by 2 here, and then you will see it's 5. It's not 5.0, but it's 5. So now you can say, like, you can check it with the type function, and this is an int. Okay.